All right. Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to my beautiful audience. And of course, good morning to everyone around here. Because today, I just want to say hello and welcome to everyone and to this special episode of Empowering You Nurses. This week, we are honoring World Breastfeeding Week. And as I told you before, that today, or one of the days this week, we'll have a mom, an experienced mom, come and share her experience with us. And today is the day, and I'm excited about that. Breastfeeding week, we bring about, or we raise awareness of breastfeeding. We also celebrate our moms, like our special guest here, and we advocate for breastfeeding because it's a vital part of early nurturing and also lifelong health. Today, I have an absolute honor of speaking with a mom, a remarkable woman, a mom who has fed her six children, breastfed her six children. Her journey is of one of resilience, one of patience, one of perseverance and purpose. And I know her story will inspire you, nurse, new moms, caregivers, and the world at large. Let me introduce to you warmly and welcome on this page Mrs. Angela Williams, a mom of six children. Excitingly, she has fed six of them. Miss Williams, thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be on this platform today. You're looking so great, so young, and yet you breastfed. Wow. Tell us a little about yourself, and then I'll ask you a question.
Good morning, Dr. Miriam, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
As you stated, my name is Angela. I am a wife and mother to six. I have also includes two sets of twins.
Wow, two sets of twins.
Yes, two sets of
Remarkable. Are
twins.
you hearing over there? That lady, that
Yeah,
woman of God, has been blessed with two sets of twins. You're talking about four. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love
So
it. I
four,
love it.
four
Tell us.
pregnancies, six children, and I'm just excited to be here and speak on my journey of what it means to me to be able to breastfeed
Wow.
my my
Thank you.
children.
Thank you so much. So, for the first part, what was the beginning of it like?
Well, with my first child, she's 10 now. I didn't have much experience or knowledge on breastfeeding. My mom was actually the one who encouraged me to do the breastfeeding.
Wow.
She was the one that was telling me the importance of it. So I didn't know, I went in with no expectations. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I did hear though from other nurses that and moms that, it can be difficult. Like, if the baby doesn't latch, that's okay,
Mm.
being that
Mhm.
that's the first time. But thankfully, when I had her, she naturally just latched on. She did. So I thankfully didn't experience any of the discomfort that comes with first time latching. So
Mhm. So you
I was
can't talk that story. You're just happy going, right?
right, right.
How about the others? The others that came
When
after?
when I was pregnant with my twins now, that was challenging because I didn't know. Up until that point, I was still breastfeeding my oldest. At that time, she was 2.5 years old,
Wow.
and then I was pregnant with my twins. And so that journey, I would say, was a bit difficult to wean her off because she was so used to breastfeeding. But again, I had two other babies that I had to breastfeed. So again, with them, it was a bit difficult because I did have to get a C-section with them. So my milk supply was lower than
Hmm.
it was with the first, and I did have to get donor's milk for
Okay.
the first couple of weeks of their life.
Well,
And that was a bit difficult for me because again, based on my first experience, I just wanted to, strictly breastfeed. But this was also breastfed milk, but it was just in a different, aspect, a different form of giving it to them in the bottle.
Okay. So great. Thanks for that. So let me ask you, what type of support did you get at the time? Apart from your mom, what type of support did you get? You know,
My husband was there. I didn't have a lactation. No,
consultant?
I did have a lactation nurse. Like she came in when I had my daughter in the delivery room to explain to me what breastfeeding was. She did encourage me, like even if it's a little bit, just pump
Um,
that and still give it to the baby. And she said, like, don't worry about it, your milk supply will come in. So one of the things she told me to do was don't stress about it. So I never worried about if it was like too little or too much. As long as I felt the babies were okay, they weren't crying. I knew that it was like, they were receiving the supply that
Wow.
they needed.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that because when we work in that area, we find out sometimes that mom, they're anxious, they're very anxious because they don't think the baby eating a lot. They're worried about that. So that nurse was really a true advocate. She did the
Yes.
right because that little milk, especially the colostrum, right? That
Right.
first milk, it has the properties, immunity properties for fight infection to help the baby to grow. So that's so important. So once they get that, and remember, you're not going to get a lot at first. It may take a few days before that
Right.
happens. So that was great for that nurse and you. How about your spiritual part and the bonding? When it come to when you see that little baby, what was your emotion and your spiritual feeling like?
Um, I would speak on the spiritual first because I would say one of the things that I did do with each of my babies as I was breastfeeding, I did consult with God. That's what I would
Amen.
say first and foremost. I did go because, again, this is a challenge for me. This wasn't something that I was used to. So, how do I prepare myself for this? And not just physically, but also mentally. So, I will say, when it came to the twins, he blessed me or he blessed them enough to where I was able to do tandem feeding. So they were on the same schedule. They were on they did everything the same. Eat the same, poop the same, sleep the same. Like everything they did was the same. And I attribute that to him because now that allowed me to get rest. And that allowed me to, have enough energy to continue to produce milk and it created less stress for me.
Great.
And I would say physically, it was like a pacifier for my children. It's like anytime they would get hurt, they would just come over to me, drink the milk, and then go go about their way. So it kind of made the whole motherhood journey a bit easier for me to know that, my milk was enough, even not just for the nurturing effect, but just for the comforting effect that it had for them.
Great. 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 So those answers are so we can resonate with that. Encouragement for new moms. What advice or words of encouragement would you offer to a first-time mom who might feel overwhelmed, you know, by the process of breastfeeding? What would you say to those moms
I would say,
from your experience?
from my experience,
Yeah.
again, I've always been a strong believer in taking all my worries to the Lord. So that's the first thing. When he says to cast all your cares, that's everything. So even when it came to breastfeeding, even when it came to me being stressed, I just gave it to him, put it in his hands. So I would say be patient with yourself
Oh,
and give yourself grace. God has given us grace so that we can give ourselves grace. And don't put too much stress on how much you're able to produce. The important thing is that you are producing. So the little bit that you are able to give, continue to give that. And I feel like, the less stress you have on your body, the more your body will accommodate your child. So don't stress because stress isn't going to help you and it's not going to help the baby.
great, great, great. So, reflection now. If you should go back in time and speak to yourself, as a brand new mom, what would you say about the breastfeeding journey ahead? Like you're a brand new mom, you don't know anything again. I think some of what you just said before come back into this one.
Yeah.
You know,
But I would say though that your experience or someone else's experience doesn't have to be your experience. So go in expecting the best.
mm,
Don't go in expecting the worst. Don't go in expecting it to be hard. Go in thinking that, you know what? It's unfortunate that so many people struggle with breastfeeding, but that struggle doesn't have to be yours. So just go in with a peace of mind, knowing that whatever you put into God's hands, know that He's got it and He's got you, and you just have to continue to walk with that faith and that knowledge that He blessed you with everything that you need to be able to nurture this child.
I love
So you
that.
got it. You got it.
Love that. Love that. Well, Mrs. Williams, I just want to thank you so much. How are the children? How are they doing right now?
Oh, they're doing good. I mean, I would say I would say breastfeeding it has like looking at each of them, looking at how they're growing, I would say that it's benefited them a lot. You know, just the way that they're able to maintain and retain information, the way how they're alert, the things that even though my kids will catch a cold and every now and then, it doesn't last long and they're not ones to be, like sick like a dog or anything like that. So I believe like those components in the milk and the breastfeeding has helped them. And they're just like, any other child that you see loving to run around and play, and I love
Well,
that.
thank you for sharing that because I had the privilege of meeting the last twins. How old are they?
My twin boys right now are 14 months.
Okay. And I
Yes.
saw the little one of what's is it Abraham? What's the last name? What's I'm trying to
So
remember the names.
so for the boys, their name is Jackson and Giovanni.
I think it was Giovanni. He was eating up a storm, getting his
Yeah.
soup from his sister.
Yes,
And so he
yeah,
doesn't play. I mean, they are healthy children, and we're
yes,
excited that you have given them the right start. You know, one of the myths that is around is that formula is equal to breast milk. It's not. That's a myth. However, that's an alternative, right? But it's not the same. But
correct.
it does its work. But breastfeeding was made for the baby. It's the right temperature. It's everything about it being for that baby.
Yes,
Naturally made, no additive, no, just right consistency and all of that. So I just want to say to you this morning, thanks for a shout out to you as a mom, a young mom, and what you have carried twins twice. And in addition to that, you've been a productive mom. Children are doing well, and I know you have brilliancy in you. I know the children are brilliant. I know, and one of the studies that have shown is that babies who are breastfed the IQ tend to be very high. And
mm,
I can say that I see those little boys, they are alert, they are with it, and they just keep going. And may God continue to bless them as they grow and bless you as a mom and your family. I want to say thanks so much for taking time out to be on this show today as we celebrate this week from August 1 to 7, Breastfeeding Week, World Breastfeeding Week. But for nationally, is the entire month of August. So I know there are different activities on breastfeeding in different parts of the country. And so you can look it up online also. And you can also, you in your community, you can share some of those goodies about breastfeeding to at your church or in your community center or wherever it is. It is so important. Thanks again for coming on. Now, how can you connect with me? You can connect with me on YouTube, Miriam Amanda Smith. On podcast is Empowering New Nurses. And I'm on Instagram at Podcast Mayor. I'm on Facebook. And it goes and it continues. It goes and it continues. There are others who are my book. I do have a book. And in that book, it has areas of breastfeeding. This is a book. Nurse,
mm,
the guide to empower new nurses in the delivery of high quality care to all patients. There's a
That
segment
is
here
great.
on breastfeeding, and those who it's on Amazon as a bestseller. See the sign here? So,
Oh, that's
friends,
that's awesome.
and you can get information. It's not just for nurses, it's also for the public. There are bits, there are pearls, and so many little goodies with regards to communication. We all need to communicate as properly because if we communicated better on a whole, many things could have been different. So there are areas in that book that address that area. And so I just want to say again, thank you so much. I would like your friends, I would like you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you will also see yourself there as advocate for breastfeeding. I appreciate you and please come again. Give our love to the family and to the friends. We embrace breastfeeding. Thanks again, Mrs. Williams, for coming on. It was a pleasure. Look forward to seeing you again as they grow. Yes,
And can I just add one more thing? It just came to me that I want to say to encourage new mothers also, and
sure.
even mothers who have more than one, like don't allow anyone to put a time limit on how long you should breastfeed. I believe each child will allow you to know when their breastfeeding time is up. So for me personally, I've done 2.5 years for each of my children, and one of them got 3 years because she just, she wanted more. But I would say, don't allow anyone to make you feel bad. I mean, if you go up to 2 years, the child is three, even with a mouthful of teeth, like it's okay. It's okay that, you continue on that breastfeeding journey. It doesn't have to stop at 6 months and it doesn't have to stop at a year. That's actually communication between you and your child. So that actually helps you to bond more with your child and to know your child more through that breastfeeding.
Thank you so much. And as you said
Yeah,
that, they're pushing, some organizations are pushing for now for 2 years. So
that's
you're in
awesome.
that ballpark.
That's
Thanks
awesome.
again. Have a great
Thank you.
afternoon. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.